guys, Mark here again. I've got another update on the situation over here in Western Australia with the political side of things, gun regulations and all that side of things of what's going on. Last Friday was the end of the reviews or the submissions for the review to the upper house on the firearms regulations. So I think from what I saw, what I heard, they had a lot of submissions in there, some very, very good and thorough submissions in there. So there is a lot of work for that review committee to do. They should have a lot of information to do that side of things, and that's in gear, that's in progress. The e-petition that has been put forward is, I think, at over 14,000. It's still growing. I think it should be a lot bigger than that, but still it's a decent size. It certainly has good momentum to start off with. Hopefully we can regain some momentum there, and I think it's a very valuable thing. So if you haven't shared it, if you haven't, or if your club, your group have not started to put it forward, it's a very valuable thing to put forward, and I would encourage everyone to be involved. And keep in mind, it's not just for firearms owners, it's for every West Australian to be able to sign into. So it's a very important thing to do. As for there's also a disallowance that's coming, and I suppose which is going to be heard, all that sort of stuff there, by the looks of things, heard in the mid-August or early to mid-August. So very important things, and I suppose I want to go through a little bit of the structure that is in play of how I see where things are at this moment. The government at this process should and is going quieter on things, settling down and going quiet on what's actually happening. There was last week, I think it was Cole Blanche at Parliament mentioned that 11,000 people had tried to get onto the system, onto the portal, and only under 3,000 people had got on. So there was a confession that it's not working very well. But there is absolutely no sign of WA Police Department or WAPOL changing tact at all, just going to keep on going, and that's just an admission that doesn't seem to have done very much. But it is relevant for our side of the fence. What I see as happening is it will go quieter. This is a very deliberate process as to try and get us, the firearms owners, all onto the system with or to give up with as little as noise as possible. So there are people that are still surrendering firearms. There are people that are going with the storage process, which I don't even understand that process properly, to be truthful. It doesn't quite make sense to me. I think I'm not certain it's a good path. But there's people who are desperate and don't know any different as to ways to go forward. Haven't heard anything from the police. They've put all the stuff they they haven't heard back. They can't get on the portal, or the property can't get on the portal, or things like this have actually happened. There is Deb Taylor on Facebook that actually has a process. You can look her up on Facebook. That is a process to get there, to get you properties onto the system without using the portal. There is also how to get firearm owners onto the system without using the portal. My world, it's a little bit of helping the government to get their job done, which I'm sure the government are quite happy with. But it's also these individuals, and they see no other way through this process. So it is definitely a mess without any questions. There are people I've now heard 3 times where people have got to with the 11th hour, and all of a sudden, with no other signs, they get an extension, a 3-month extension or a 1-month extension. From what I understand of that, yes, the firearms department or whatever they're called are actually offering that. They're not advertising it, but they're offering that to, well, help people out. What I see in the truth of it is this is a process to get us all onto the system, and then they have their goal anyway. So their portal does not working, gets rid of some people where they give up anyway and find another path anyway. And then there's the getting people onto the system anyway. So then they have control. Then they have these regulations in. And if they can get enough of that done, and there's no real fuss around the place apart from us whinging and moaning, then in the 6 months or 9 months time, when the review actually gets to be pushed back to, or their advice, their suggestions, however it's termed properly, go to the upper house, then the whole system's going to be in play. The actual whole problem has gone because we're all over on the system, and then, well, why would you change it? You'll make a couple of small amendments and you'll leave it at that. So that's extraordinarily scary to me. That means that then they've pulled it off, and the distraction of the portal, it was also a tool, but it's also a distraction to have us all focused on that while they're actually getting everyone over on the system. And then they've got it. Then they can then adjust that a little bit, and they can start to work on getting the rest of them. So that's the system I see in play. Go quiet right now, smooth it out right now. When the people are really getting desperate, just give them a little bit more room to where they can find their way through, and then that'll all happen to where they get to where their end goal anyway. And there being WAPOL and the Police Minister's department, that's their goal, to get us over onto that system. The likes of the e-petition to try and halt things. Some would say, okay, that's the same thing. It's just halting things and we're just going to get there anyway. No, I don't see it that way at all. I see there's a missing ingredient we've got at the moment. We've got a legal thing that started in various forms. It's being held up by the review. And it has to be, because the review may change laws and then that affects the legal system. So how can you go forward while things are in limbo? So the review sort of, in some fashion, hurts the legal process. It doesn't if we do everything properly. If we actually do the proper wake-up thing, then it doesn't actually hurt things at this moment. It all works together. But the missing ingredient is the social, is the people, is us, is boots on the ground, is us. And I'm glad to say there's conversation about that. And this video is a little bit to put that forward to West Australian residents. Well, actually, this is to everyone. The West Australian residents is for the e-petition. Everyone could be involved with this, but being literally the most distance isolated city in the world, it's not something a lot of people are going to travel 3 or 5 or 20,000 Ks to be in. So it is really for us residents to do this, and people that can. But the talk of a rally, a march, something, standing on Parliament House, an address on Parliament House, or whatever it is, a talk of doing that is the missing ingredient. And I'm hearing about it. So if you're interested in that, if you would do that, and this would be from the sort of the rumours I've got going at the moment, the suggestions I've got going at the moment would be in the mid to early August, as to a get together in that for a gathering in that sort of time. Probably Parliament House, but I don't know where. It is what it is, whether it's a march or wherever it is. That may be up to everyone to suggest also, if there's great suggestions. But if people are really keen on doing that, I think it's super valuable. I think that it gives the e-petition, the disallowance, the review, it gives them all strength, because it is stuff that's obvious. Ideally, it would have some PR attached to it, it would have some media coverage attached to it. It is something that is there. That's something that the people are obviously doing things. That is super important in my mind. So if you're interested in doing that sort of thing, and you would put your boots on the ground, you would do what you got to do to be there, then listen, let us know in the comments. If you can do more than that, if you have been involved with this sort of thing before, if you could help with the administration, if you could help with the advertising, the promotion, the structure, the planning, any of that sort of stuff, if you want to do that and you can really do some of that sort of stuff, then you're very welcome to email me. I'm not organising it. Me and Sam aren't organising it. We're two people that run two businesses and are doing all we can and doing this. But I believe I'll be able to help join you people together and join you people with maybe people who are with the e-petition or whatever it is, help get that sort of stuff. You let us know and I'll work out a way to do that sort of stuff. Hopefully very quickly build, let A know about B, let you two talk together, and then, or 5 to talk together, or 50 talk together, and you can create something that does this. I think it's super important. I think there should be more. I think that's the key ingredient that makes all these things work. It'll make all the legal things work a lot better. It'll make the political things, the political individual, the parliamentarians that are actually trying to fight for us, it'll give them more strength. It'll give all the motions in government more strength. It gives everything more strength. Is it all going to work completely? Listen, I still think we've got a lot of hard work to do. I don't think the odds are in our favour. But that depends on how much that all changes the more that we stand up. As simple as that. The more we get together. And the get together. When I talk about the e-petition, when I talk about if there is a rally or march or gathering, whatever format, it should be not just about firearms. Firearms are a crucial thing at this moment. They are an energy at the moment, but they are simply a really good example of what our government's up to. Everyone is affected with this. Now, some people might be being paid by the government, it all works just fine for them. But even them, if they look a little bit closer at what's going on, when the parliamentarians look federally, when the parliamentarians are the likes of the Prime Minister are putting forward a super tax, which is for everybody else but us, listen, that says very, very loud things. And of course, it comes all the way down. These sorts of elite, authoritarian, totalitarian attitudes are coming into all levels of government. We are ruling over you. And we've got to somehow or other turn it back around to, no, civil servant. You are doing things for us. You are not supposed to be making rules that control us. Those are our decisions, not yours. That's really, really important. So it should be everybody. But let's start with us in the whether it's the firearms owners or the fishers or the four-wheel drivers or the farmers or the truckers or the hikers or the who have we got, the hill climbers or the paragliders and I can't list all the names of the people who are affected by this. But you know if you've been affected, you know what's coming, you know your national parks are getting chained off, you know that your beaches are getting chained off, you know that your farms are getting squeezed out of existence, you know this. Let's be part of this as that group. Bring your voice along. It only takes a few from every group and we'll have a very large group. And it does take sacrifice. We need to do that. This is the process we're in. I believe it's really, really important. I believe that us sacrificing a bit now is going to save us sacrificing everything later. That's the path that I see actually coming. How fast it's coming, I don't know, but it does seem to be accelerating. So my comment would be, if you've not signed on the e-petition, for whatever logical reason you have right now, understand it in a bigger picture than it seems to be. It matters and everything matters if we want to have control. For the firearms owners that think they've got it all locked away because I've complied, I've done everything and I'm doing that, so I'll be fine. No, once they have the full system in, it will change. Stop and read the tea leaves. Stop and read the writing on the wall. It will change. They will work out how to take those as well. That's what they've been up to. That's what we said 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Some people said 25 years ago, but it's obviously accelerating. It's not going to stop right now. So you also be on this side. This is for everyone, not just firearms owners. This is for this, like I said, I've said it too many times. This is for everyone. Sign the petition, really, really important. Let's make it as big as we can and at least think about the rally side of things. So that this moment, that's all it is. But out of this video, put your comments below. That really matters. Email me if you can help. That really matters. And let's see if together West Australians can build something to actually get a bit of righting this ship, getting it going in our direction rather than their direction. Anyway, guys, that's that video. I'm sure there's things I've missed out with that sort of stuff. I hope it makes sense. I hope that you're on board. I look forward to hearing from you and we'll catch you next time.